What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an awesome shoutcast submitted from my buddy TheTerminalSump with Diancie. Now, think about what's in the Ultra League. It's probably the #1 most overused Pokemon. I'll wait for it. It's probably, you guessed it, you're thinking about Charizard. You know what Diancie does very well? It destroys, obliterates, and shames Charizard from their existence. So let's take a look at this team put together by TheTerminalSump and check out these battles in the Ultra League with Diancie. We've got Virizion on the lead to cover the weaknesses of the Diancie. Yeah, I would say so. Steel is a pretty big deal. Walrein is back there as a sort of a way to draw out the steals, right? With that Earthquake. Makes it very sort of a bait dependent sometimes, but neutral. And the opponent is staying in, as is TheTerminalSump. We're going to see him play out this matchup most likely. We definitely need to keep the Virizion away from the rest of this team. The opponent has farmed up a ton of energy. They're probably looking to let it loose. Maybe they're waiting for a swap out. But no, they're just going to let the Sacred Sword loose, and TheTerminalSump has gotten a couple of extra double kicks in here to make up for the energy that the opponent got. Fair enough. So opponent's going to bring in a Walrein. And TheTerminalSump is resisting his urge to bring in the Diancie. Going to go for the Sacred Sword. Now, in this instance, you do want to go for Leaf Blade. It does slightly more damage than the Sacred Sword would in these situations where both are either neutral or super effective or what have you. So we're going to see the Walrein come in, look to absorb the energy that opponent's Walrein has, and very, very likely look to catch an Earthquake. Nope, they're going to just stay in, and then they're going to have to either take the Earthquake or Shield. I imagine he'd probably get a Shield here. Earthquake is just going to get taken out. It's just going to take out the Walrein. All right, there it goes. And then the very low health Virizion, you can easily tank a move here. Opponent can't even get to a move, and they've got an Aurorus in the back, and at this point, I think this is pretty much a good game. Diancie can come in here, do super effective damage with the Rock Throw, Rock Slide combo, and that's just going to be a good game. Well played. Opponent not even throwing for the charge move there. They are just going out in style. Next game here, we're going to have Virizion against another Virizion. There's so many Virizions. Where are they coming from? Okay. Well, Virizion mirror lead once again. I'm sure it's all wonderful, and we love watching this mirror. So I'll just take a moment and just dream. What if there's a Charizard in the back? What if the opponent tries to safe swap into that Charizard? There's a Skuntank in the back. TheTerminalSump throws a Sacred Sword. Think you could probably come in with the Walrein here. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to have to see in the back here. Typically, you want to pair Virizion with things that are very strong against flying types. The Skuntank is definitely not that option. So we're going to come in with the Walrein here. Very nice way to just put the Skuntank in a farm down situation here. Crunch is not going to do much damage, as this is not a Shadow Skuntank. And I think you could easily just tank one more and just go for this energy. This farm down is ridiculous. Crunch is not getting any debuffs today. Never mind, I lied. I should just not say anything. Got a couple of Icicle Spears loaded. The opponent CMP ties the Virizion. We're looking to get a shield right back. Need to get this Virizion out of here because Diancie does not want to see it. Gets completely shut down unless it's got a huge farm down beforehand. Icicle Spear is going to go through, and the opponent now has to decide if they want to lose the Virizion. Nope, they're going to let it go. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There's a Charizard in the back, and it's going so fast. Its HP is just dropping. This Charizard has no chance. They just melt. The rock just, boom, gone. Beep. Beep. Gone. Or I guess it's more like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Goodness. Okay, opponent comes in with a Kingdra. We're going to counter swap in the Walrein here. You could think about it. There's a Charizard on like every other team. So Diancie in the back makes sense to me. Completely walls Charizard and takes it out in exactly like 6 or 7 rock throws. It's pretty great. I love when that happens. Opponent goes for the Outrage, correctly shielding. That's a huge shield from TheTerminalSump. And he's going to look to go for an Icicle Spear here in order to try and put pressure back on this Kingdra to shield. And the opponent just lets it go. Snorlax with 2 shields comes back in. And the Walrein has a bunch of energy with which it looks to dump on the Snorlax before it can get to a charge move. And it looks like the Snorlax may just farm down here, which is a very dangerous move because Walrein is fairly tanky. But we're going to see the opponent chicken out and throw their move anyway. They lost count. They probably could have gone for a much bigger farm down here, but that's okay. Virizian's going to come back in. Opponent comes in with a Charizard. It's a Charizard! And they quit immediately. I probably would too, let's be honest. That's a good game. Man, I wonder how many of those we're going to see today. This is beautiful. You couldn't ask for a better lead here. Opponent safe swaps in a Walrein so that they can be hit with a Sacred Sword or Leaf Blade before the opponent even has a chance to throw a charge move. And I think you just... No, okay, I was going to say maybe you just save the Walrein here, but this makes a lot of sense as well. You easily tank an Earthquake, and you're going to force the opponent to throw an Earthquake, and then get to another Earthquake, and then another Earthquake. It's just... There's so many Earthquakes that have to happen right now. You would think that the Earth would split in two from this matchup, with these fat walruses blobbing up and down throwing Earthquake, but we're still here. We're all alive. And instead, we get to witness the glory of probably what is going to be another Charizard in the back, because this Swampert typically is going to have something that's strong to grass in the lead, so you're going to have to imagine that there's probably something in the back that is strong to Virizion, like Charizard. Do we see? It's another Charizard! Ladies and gentlemen, it's Charizard season, and Diancie's got the gun. Diancie's just launching rocks. Oh my god. Every game. Is every game going to end like this? Because I'm here for it, alright? After... The Charizard! Look at that! You safe swap the Charizard, and you get completely punished for it. And if y'all have ever played the Sandslash Carbink matchup, Carbink is significantly more tanky, by the way. Diancie is not by any means near the level of bulk that the Carbink has. But... I mean, it's got a bit more of an attack stat, I do believe. It just has a significantly less of an HP pool, I think, or is it significantly less defense? I don't know. But the opponent's looking for a hard farm down, and they get it, which is huge. But being down a shield means that Virizion can easily shield once here and keep itself healthy. But the opponent is going to get no shielded by this Ice Punch, and they're going to go for another one immediately. Was that a C? I think that had to be a CMP, because there was no fast move there. That had to be a CMP. Yep, that was a CMP. Okay. But Sacred Sword would absolutely destroy the Sandslash and its family, so they have to shield and then probably swap. And in comes the Clefable, and honestly, we're looking good here. Leaf Blade is going to do some chip damage to this Clefable. Walrein is going to be looking pretty good here. Just go for 2 Icicle Spears, and that's basically game over. Opponent cannot get to enough charge moves against this Walrein to take it out before it's going to go down. And that is going to end it. And I've actually never seen how much damage that Clefable does with the Meteor Mash against the Walrein, because even though I played it, never had that matchup. Easily going to be able to shield once here and get to this Icicle Spear. That's going to call a good game here. Well played. Opponent, despite having Charizard... Nah, it wasn't even close, let's be honest. The Virizian's got too much of an advantage over that poor little Sandslash, and then we just got to go for it. You're going for an Icicle Spear. That is some next level BM. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, fine, whatever. Gonna go for that double kick down, and that's a good game. Sandslash once again on the lead. We're looking at another very positive lead. The opponent is staying in because they are apparently core broken. They're probably running something like Tapu Fini or Jellicent, or just something that isn't very good against grass. And that, my friends, is why I actually stopped running Jellicent and Tapu Fini behind my Sandslash, is because I hate having matchups like this, where I just lose the most powerful Pokemon in the entire Ultra League, in my opinion, to a Virizion. So, opponent's got a Powder Snow below a Ninetales, and they've got Double Fairy in the back behind that Sandslash. There is a Tapu Fini back there. That is why the opponent decided not to swap out. Diancie is going to throw a Moonblast into the Tapu Fini that gets shielded, and now we're looking pretty good, as it looks like we're going to not be able to get to this Rock Slide, but Virizion's going to be able to make up for it with how quickly it generates energy. You can shield a potential Moonblast here, and then I think that you're looking pretty good with this Walrein. Now, Walrein is going to come in and soak the energy, and it's a Moonblast, so that's going to do a fairly good amount of damage, but this Tapu Fini is getting too low. I think this might be just a Surf. I don't think you need to shield it. No, it's a Moonblast. Color me stupid. It's a Moonblast. The opponent staying in, fearing that Earthquake. They cannot let the Earthquake get caught on their Alolan Ninetales where it's game over. And now the Alolan Ninetales comes back in. It's going to be able to... I think it could shield and farm down there, I think. It's very close. They don't know how much energy the Virizion has, so that's fair enough. Leaf Blade is neutral as well as Sacred Sword. So once again, in neutral situations or when both moves are not hitting for, you know, anything different, right? They're both hitting for neutral, resisted, or super effective. As long as they're both hitting for the same, you want to be going for the Leaf Blade because it does slightly more damage. Unless you know, trying to go for an undercharge or something, then that's a different story. But Virizion into the Swampert. Once again, we get an amazing lead. Does the opponent safe swap in their Charizard, not knowing what's waiting for them in the back? No, there's a Wall Rain coming in. And I have to say, it is extremely hard for me not to come in with Diancie and try and farm this down, but I do realize that an Earthquake would absolutely KO, so answering with the Wall Rain is a very smart play here. I think that just about every Swampert lead, you can almost always assume there's a Charizard back there because they have to be able to answer Grass. And Wall Rain is a good safe answer to Grass, but it takes super effective from Grass. So it's not necessarily an amazing response, but it's just so hard from Swampert to come back from this after that. You've seen it at least a couple times now. The Wall Rain is going to be able to just get to a couple Icicle Spears. It's going to take out a lot of the Swampert's HP. They have to get to the Earthquake or get a ton of farm plus a Hydro Cannon to take out a Wall Rain. So it's a very bad time for the Swampert, and the opponent looks like they are trying to just save their shields for Charizard. And as we all know at this point, there is a Charizard. It's almost guaranteed. Virizion's going to come back in. The Charizard will... Ooh, the opponent stays in. They got Sludge Wave. Let's watch and find out. No, it's a Hydro Cannon. I was getting excited. Hey, look at the Charizard, and here's the Diancie. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have another top left from another Charizard running trainer. And we are just... You just imagine the Looney Tunes when they're pulling the signs off the tree going duck season, rabbit season. It's just Charizard season. Except it's always Charizard season, and they just keep pulling it off because it's always Charizard season. Anyway, antics aside, opponent has a Tentacruel, and we see the Wall Rain come in as the safe swap. I actually was too busy indulging in my own childhood fantasies of Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny that I didn't notice if the opponent swapped out or not. So if the opponent has swapped out, then they're looking to try and probably win switch here. But I imagine that you can probably get to this Earthquake beforehand, and that is going to put this Tentacruel fairly low. However, we're looking at a very rough situation now. Virizion is going to have to come in, and thankfully you've seen the moveset. Acid Spray and Scald. You don't have to worry about any charge move damage, so this is definitely not worth shielding. But you are going to be able to hopefully get through this Tentacruel with a Leaf Blade, and you're hoping they don't shield because you already have a shield advantage. What else can they really do? So opponent's got a Sylveon, and the opponent is now... oh, that's right. I remember. Now it's an Obstacle. I remember now. I glanced at the Obstacle. Depending on how the opponent plays this out, if they correctly shield the Moonblast, then this is over. Because the defense drop, plus the Diancie just hitting for Rock Throws. I mean, the fact that there's also a Sylveon in back, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. We get the attack drop, which is kind of nice. However, with the Obstructs, I don't think it makes much of a difference. The Virizion is going to have to go for a heck of a farm down here, and because of how long this matchup is taking, I don't think the Virizion is going to get it. And even then, Sylveon with Charm will probably just do a bit of ripping through. But we're going to get to a Rock Slide in time here to see if maybe this changes the fate of the Terminal Sump and his Virizion looking to win. And 2 shields don't mean anything, trainer, against an opponent running Charm. Well played. This is going to see the Virizion go down to these Charms, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. He's still going for it. He thought he could make it. What a silly boy. Good game. All right, jumping into this last game here, we've got Virizion versus a Spice Lord. Kyurem is in the lead here, and they're not swapping out. The opponent definitely cannot get to a Glaciate before this Virizion gets to a move, so they're going to be forced to shield or just let their Kyurem go down. Kyurem is just going to eat that Sacred Sword to the face, go for this Glaciate. TerminalSump is looking at his Virizion and noting that it has some value. The opponent is clearly core broken by it, so it's a good thing. We're going to keep it. The Buzzwole is going to come in. Wall Rain is not a response to Buzzwole, trainer, but let's see what happens anyway, because even though this is not a good matchup, the damage from the Buzzwole, or the damage from the Walrein rather, is going to add up over time here. So we also can definitely, now that the opponent's got one shield, we can definitely see Diancie come in here and do some work, get into an Icicle Spear before getting countered down by the Buzzwole. Walrein gets both shields despite being lunged. The opponent does not care for that. They did not care to lose their Buzzwole. They think that it's going to be able to farm down here or win the game for them. So Diancie comes in to absorb this lunge, which is double resisted, I do believe, and these rock throws are going to start tearing through the Buzzwole, and you do have to start shielding something at some point, so this is a good time to do it. Superpower. Getting the shield, and the opponent's got a Guzzlord in the back. You come in with the Virizion, you save the energy from that Diancie for that Buzzwole, which has just emptied its energy, I do believe, into the Diancie. So going for the undercharge here. Think TheTerminalSump is definitely looking to just farm down here. Opponent not letting them do it, giving them the extra farm. The opponent does not want the Guzzlord to get farmed down by Diancie because they know they're going to lose. But now they just lose to 2 Leaf Blades. So either way, good game, trainer. Well played. Unfortunately, there wasn't a Charizard in this last battle. But I'll take the 4 or 5 battles that did have a Charizard. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you again to TheTerminalSump for submitting these battles. It was an excellent time to watch Charizard just melt to Diancie. And that's going to do it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to submit battles to the channel for shoutcasting, there is a link in the description, pinned comment. You can check that out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.